The only thing I would say is legislative session begins in the new year. I ask you to consider the impact of legislation on our local nonprofits. The work these organizations undertake is crucial in addressing pressing community issues and enhancing the lives of our citizens. Your decisions affect the nonprofit sector. Please know that if any of you have any questions about our local nonprofits, I'm here and I'm happy to assist. Just reach out. That's what I'm here for. And I left you guys some materials to review on the foundation. And of course, as always, I'd love to have you brought back into the Community Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you. Georgia McKeown, Phoenix House of Florida, Central. All right, so we got some last minute cards. Good. Sarah Frankie. Yeah.
Sarah Frankie.
Is that you?
Yes.
Okay,
It's French.
it's French.
Yes.
So I can.
From La Frankie, France. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thank you, Ms. Henson, Mr. McLean, and Perry for always considering the wrongful act, the free kill law. I am here on behalf of millions who have died within these 33 years that this law has been here in the state of Florida. I'm here because my daughter, Sadie, she passed away. She was my embryo. You gave pro-life to an embryo, right? But I chose my embryo. And my embryo, I had her all the way until she was 28 years old. I gave her her life. I've been living here for 25 years. And I moved here to give them, my children, 2 daughters, a better life. To think, I would never fathom that the state allows my daughter to die. What happened? My daughter was very ill, and I kept on going to the doctors and asking her, there's something wrong. And the doctor looked at me, and I begged him, and he said, she's 28 years old, she looks fine, there's nothing. I've done blood work, there's nothing wrong with her. I said, I know my daughter, I breastfed her for 2 years, and she's lived with me, there's something wrong. What happened? It ended up September 4th, she ended up in the hospital. She worked there for 8 years, by the way, and she goes to the emergency room, and they took forever to take her from triage into triage. It was empty. She begged for her life once she got into the room. To her constituents, the people that she worked side by side for 8 years. It happens to be this was a new traveling nurse and a new doctor they were not aware. She died. What I'm getting at is, how much value do we put on our life here in the state of Florida? You have children and grandchildren. What's gonna happen? If they're over the age of 25 nowadays, our youth are not married. I'm divorced. And one of our representatives, I'm not gonna say who because I was able to later on speak to him, said, I'm sick. And he told my daughter, well, you have a father, don't you? What about my life? I'm still young. I should be there for my children and my grandchildren when they have them. Talking about the reform, a young lady crashed into another young lady, and I don't know if you guys know about Taylor Jenkins. Her daughter died because the hospital let her bleed to death for 8 hours. And yet, the girl who crashed into the car, she got 9.5 years for the negligence of the hospital. What's going on with our system? I'm not asking for no money. I'm asking for justice. We're constantly asking people. We're asking for justice on behalf of of us because these doctors continue to do it. If we drive and look at what happened with this lady over there. If we drive, we commit a crime, we go to jail, they take our license away. Why is nobody being held accountable in the state of Florida? Okay, and they're saying I have to put my glasses, I'm sorry.
Okay.
They're saying that,
Lined up as soon as you can.
okay, they're saying that, according to the research which our lobbyists have mentioned, that 40% of our doctors are insured only, because the other 60, we don't have to have insurances in this state. However, the doctor, how he does it, everybody else, all the 40% complain, oh, we have such high amounts of insurance claims. Well, payments, well, why is it? So I'm asking for something to be done about this. There's so much I could talk about. Our veterans are dying, they're killing themselves. A young veteran killed himself. He went 4 times to the hospital that my daughter went to. And he told everybody 5 times is a charm. They're not gonna help me, and Mom, I love you. And he shot himself. When are we gonna take a stance? We're taking a stance for the ASPCA for a dog who's being battered and abused. How about our families? Don't our children, our future? Now you guys took away the rights for our parents in a nursing home. But I don't get it. We need help. This has to end. I know Kinston, McLean, and Perry swore this, Chamberlain, you, and Payne. Please think about this. You know, it's about what's just. You know, our fathers said to us, the Constitution says you guys are supposed to protect our lives. It says it in Amendment 5 and Amendment 14. And it says the 14th figure, the state has to take care of that. They have to protect our lives. Why are you not protecting them for the medical system? It's done. It has to be done. Thank you. God bless you guys. Is anyone who's single?
Maybe that's your daughter's picture.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Our next speaker is Ron. What is Ron?
Oh, go get him, Ron. Go get him, Ron. Sick him.
Ron, how you doing?
Not dead yet.
All right.
I don't give out a whole lot of information. Stan knows that.
I thought that was you. Thank you for
It
your
used
service.
to be. I lost a lot of weight, haven't I? I was actually back down to 180 there for a little bit.
All right. We're
Hey,
here for you for 2 minutes.
Listen, and I was very, very thankful about the girl the young lady that is the vet that brought up the Constitution, because you should know where I'm going, Stan.
No, I'm never sure where you're headed, Ron.
Well, the thing is I'm a vet too, and I took my oath at the age of 17. And at 17, I knew what it meant. Because back in those days, and we all went through that, you had to have civics and government and whatnot. They made us know the Constitution before we could even graduate from school. Unfortunately, they don't do that anymore as much, I don't think.
Yeah, we
Nope.
played civics in high school.
But, well, do they still write in cursive? I don't think so.
I
No.
don't know about that.
Yeah, see, that's a real big problem right there. My mom couldn't believe they started us in 3rd grade writing in cursive. But anyway, I'm gonna be real quick here. My biggest issue is you guys took basically the same oath that I took, to protect and defend the Constitution. And Article 6 of the Constitution states that it is the supreme law of the land. And this is where, you know, you play a game of Monopoly, you take the top off the box, flip it over, there's the rules. When you break them rules, you're no longer playing the game. And the problem is everybody's breaking the rules. Every time you pass an ex post facto law, you've made something that used to be lawful, unlawful, so people that were law-abiding citizens are now criminals. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? When we have a law that contradicts a law, which law do we follow? The Constitution says I have the right to keep and bear arms not infringed. Or the Constitution says you can do that, but we can regulate it. Wait a minute, infringed or regulate? I ask you decide. Do your job, follow your oath.
So I'll address that with you real quick if you'll stand still just for a minute. You went to the Supreme Court, it was challenged in Heller. Heller said individuals have the right to carry arms, but the Supreme Court through McDonald said they leave it up to the state. We're following the law of the state.
Well, but you're not following the US Constitution, which says shall not be infringed.
We're following the state law, sir.
Well,
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Yeah,
exactly.
yep,
You heard it here first.
that's right.
Next up is Don Browning.
All right. Hello, folks. Love you all. What a treasure we have here. I made a bunch of notes before we heard some good stuff here today. And almost everything that we heard, I have engaged. I'm an old guy now. I'm getting so old, I don't know what to do with myself. Can't find my keys. Latest thing is can't find my keys, and now they reminded me I bought a Tesla. It doesn't have keys. All right, Dan McLean hits the middle of the target on everything. This young lady over here, Sue, she can really answer essentially every question in the legislation and the legislature to make their place God-fearing, parents, churches, good, right. I've worked with many of you, this guy a whole bunch, on just you name it, and I sat on the board somewhere and got myself in a lot of trouble and him implicated a little bit too, but clean water, like for example, they're talking about, water coming down, with these utilities, Knappahall, just remember Knappahall, look into it, 14 million gallons, I sat on the spring protection for stand. 14 million gallons goes into the official aquifer, comes out, blows out of the springs, and everything turns into algae. So it's pretty simple stuff.